The migrant crisis. Nearly 100 migrants from Egypt, Sudan and Somalia are the latest group rescued at sea by Italian crews while trying to reach Europe. Authorities say the migrants, including a dozen unaccompanied minors, arrived at an Italian port on the island of Sicily Wednesday night.
They said it was very rough. They were out at sea for about 12 days, they estimated, and for 2 of those days the boat stopped and was not working, and they ran out of water, and they were even drinking salt water. They weren't able to be hydrated during that time, so until the boat was going again, they were completely stopped for 2 days.
The recent surge in migrants risking their lives to reach Europe has set off a debate on how to stop the exodus. France's President François Hollande has said he wants a UN resolution authorizing the EU to destroy boats used by people smugglers to ferry thousands of migrants from North Africa to Europe. But the president of the Italian Red Cross, Francesco Rocca, warned that suggestions of bombing traffickers' boats before they are loaded with migrants is not a solution.
For us, it's not a solution, bombing the boats. This must be very clear, because the traffickers will find other routes. We cannot forget that the other route is coming from Turkey, from the Aegean Sea. Even some of them try to reach the Greek island from swimming.
Rocca says the current migrant situation is not a crisis, but in his opinion, the continuation of governments not responding to a decades-old dilemma. With no immediate plan to disrupt the flow of migrants to Europe, the EU has decided to triple search and rescue operations after being criticized over its response to the migrants' crisis. The pledge came as more migrants rescued at sea arrived in Italy, and funeral services were held for some of the 900 migrants who drowned when their ship capsized off the coast of Libya several days ago. Well, as migrants continue to die attempting to cross the Mediterranean from North Africa, Europe says it wants to stem the flow by targeting the people smugglers. But experts say such action will be difficult because of the vast web of organized crime that controls the trafficking. Henry Ridgwell is following the migrant trail through Europe and reports from Milan.
Daybreak and the smugglers' boats set off from the coast of North Africa, bound for Europe. There's no guarantee they will make it. In recent years, tens of thousands of migrants have either drowned or died from starvation or dehydration. But the boat journey is just one stage of a vast network of people trafficking that starts in the country of origin. Andrea Di Nicola, criminology professor at the University of Trento in Italy, travelled across Africa and the Middle East, interviewing those involved in the smuggling network. VOA spoke to him at Milan's central train station, a major hub for migrants.
It's a ruthless travel agency. They work in networks and they can ally among themselves. And even if we close the route from Libya, they will probably work from Tunisia or Algeria or again from Turkey. They are flexible and they change.
Europe has called for targeted action against the people smugglers. Analyst Riccardo Fabiani says that would be difficult but not impossible.
The use of drones, for example, to target people involved in the smuggling business, let's say. And on the other hand, Italy and other European countries have intelligence networks in Libya that they can rely on for this kind of information.
But the smugglers are part of international crime syndicates, earning huge sums, notes Andrea Di Nicola.
The United Nations estimate up to $10 billion. One Pakistani guy in Italy was smuggling 700 migrants and asked for each guy €7,000.
Nearby, Mohammed scans the arrivals board at Milan station. He's looking for his uncle, who fled Syria's civil war and has arrived in Europe on a trafficker's boat. Mohammed is struggling to track him down.
He was living close to the Yarmouk refugee camp. The situation there is well known. It's very difficult and dangerous. We got the news from Libya that he had departed and the boat had arrived in Europe.
Despite the links to criminal gangs, it's clear the smugglers are providing a way out for Syrians and others fleeing conflict. That's why Europe must reform its migration policy, says Di Nicola.
If you're gonna tighten Fortress Europe, probably they will increase prices. This is what these criminals told us. So in order to disorganize them, you need criminal law, you need investigation, but you also need prevention, reduction of opportunities, and of course, better policies for assisting victims.
Europe is determined to tackle the traffickers, but with the rising death toll in the Mediterranean, there is a growing debate over whether Europe should open safer channels for legitimate refugees fleeing war. Henry Ridgwell for VOA News, Milan, Italy.
We want to know what you think about Africa 54 and the stories we cover. Join the conversation on Facebook. The address is Africa 54 and check out our headlines 24/7 on voaafrica.com.